I think there might be too many MBAs running companies. There's the MBAization of America, which I think is maybe not that great. Um, there should be more focus on the product, the service itself, less time on board meetings.
Welcome to Finance Reacts. In today's episode, we are going to be examining Elon Musk's view on MBA graduates and business degrees in general. If you get any value from this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Musk has been a frequent and vocal critic of the MBA graduate program, citing its many shortcomings in helping young professionals develop the necessary skill set to effectively lead an organization's management structure. We will be taking a deep dive into why Elon believes MBAs are often ineffective and do more harm than good, in order to give you, the audience, more insight into Elon's views and help give more perspective in general on the MBA advanced degree and merits of such an accreditation. Let's get started. Before we begin our analysis, let's listen to Elon's views on the subject through his own words.
I think there might be too many MBAs running companies. There's the MBAization of America, which I think is maybe not that great. There should be more focus on the product, the service itself, less time on board meetings, less time on financials. The financials come as a result. Like you say, like, what's the point of a company at all? And why even have companies? It's like a company is an assembly of people gathered together to create a product or service and deliver that product or service. And sometimes people lose sight of that. A company has no value in and of itself. It only has value to the degree that it is an effective allocator of resources to create goods and services that are of greater value than the cost of the inputs. This thing we call profit is should just mean over time that the value of the output is worth more than the inputs.
And it's a reflection of the quality of the product more than so if the product is good, presumably the profits follow rather than profits being involved versus profits. And
yeah, sometimes people sort of have it backwards, and if people are getting sort of the incentive structure is coming from the financial side of things. I don't know. I just earnestly would recommend to anyone listening that just spend less time in meeting rooms, less time on PowerPoint presentations, less time on a spreadsheet, and more time on the factory floor, more time with customers. And obviously, a lot of people out there are already doing that. But I would just urge people to say, like, hey, step back a second and say, is your product as awesome as it could be? Probably not.
Leadership should not be through, basically MBA business school situation. It's like it should be kind of work your way up, do useful things, and and there's a bit too much of somebody goes to a high-profile MBA school and then kind of parachutes in as the leader, but they don't actually know how things work. They could be good at, say, PowerPoint presentations or something like that, and they can present well, but they don't actually know how things work because they do not, they parachute in instead of like working their way out.
They never went through an apprenticeship, for lack of a better word.
They're kind of like just not aware of what's really needed for to make great products.
As we just heard, many of Elon's critiques regarding MBA students center around the assumption of a perceived static form of management culture in which the leadership group running the business has no real insights into the inner workings of the operations of a company. By using textbook business lessons instead of adaptive problem solving, MBAs hinder not only outside-of-the-box solutions, but, as Elon fears, bring in a corporate structured chain of command to problem solving that results in a stunt in innovation and a paralyzed feedback mechanism in which lower level employees are not burdened to think and provide solutions on their own, rather rely on predetermined answers heavily based on conventional wisdom and corporate governance rather than the merit of the idea. To get a deep understanding on why Elon adopts such a negative view, we need to take a closer look into the industries Elon has built his businesses in and the challenges he has faced. Elon has made his fortune in the electric car market, the aerospace industry, and the financial payments industry. Try to imagine three industries more complacent, static, and lacking innovation than the automotive industry, banking, and government-funded space programs. When entering these businesses, Elon's main point of advantage was not his specified expertise in any one of the above industries, but his ability to approach what were deemed as unsolvable problems by applying innovative standards to measure risk, progress, and likelihood of success. As Elon's companies became more successful by disregarding the formulated business school approach to problem solving, the negative views towards MBA business types became reinforced. Coming from a tech background, an industry known for its fair share of unorthodox CEOs and innovation, there has always been a negative view towards suit and tie business types, regarding them as individuals who run businesses not because of their insights, but rather their ability to safely and skillfully maneuver the corporate political hierarchy game. This mistrust stems from incidents such as the mishandling of IBM's business in the 1980s by suit and tie CEO John Fellows Akers, whom Steve Jobs once described as smart, eloquent, fantastic salesperson who didn't know anything about the product. And Steve Jobs himself with the now infamous ousting of Apple by businessman CEO John Sculley. Jobs, as we know, would return to save the company before its looming bankruptcy. While one can view Elon's words on MBAs as generalized and exaggerated due to his blunt nature, we can look no further than Elon's PayPal co-founder and original Facebook investor, Peter Thiel, for a more nuanced explanation of the perceived drawbacks of hiring employees with an MBA skill set. Let's take a listen.
If I had to say what I don't like about an MBA is that is the conceit is that business is a process, that it's about management. There's this thing called management that works equally well everywhere, whether you're running a chemical engineering company, or whether you're running a software company, or whether you're running a restaurant or a rocket company, and puts too much of the stress on process. And what always does matter a lot is having having substance, or being actually genuinely passionate about some very specific vertical thing. And the vibe one gets from many people in MBA programs is that they're sort of these lost souls who have no idea what they want to do with their lives.
It is clear by listening to Elon and Peter Thiel, their main criticism pertaining to business students is not their competence in general or their desire to pursue their education further, but rather the lack of direction and one-size-fits-all approach management style MBAs tend to be so often influenced by. Although these skills can be very useful in more traditional industries such as brick and mortar stores, construction and heavily statistical data influenced businesses such as life insurance and bank loan underwriting, entrepreneurs like Musk who have built their careers on disruptive innovation naturally will have biased views towards any educational program they perceive as feeding students institutionalized and formulated answers to problems that require the exact opposite. Do you agree with Elon's views? Do you believe MBA students play an important role in a company's management structure? If you have a master's in business administration, do you believe Elon has fairly characterized your skill set? Let me know in the comments below.